Hello and welcome to another edition of the Talk Sound podcast, a podcast dedicated to everything Exmouth Town Football Club. If you don't know who we are, I'm Egg. That's Nath. Nath, back from another Jet Set Travels.
Yeah, back from Poznan. That was fun, very cold. Battling the cold, unfortunately, myself. So, probably not the best conditions for that. But, excited to talk Exmouth Town again. And I mean, it's been a really exciting time for the club recently, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Um, for full disclosure, I have double checked Nath is completely sober. He did tell me that apparently when you ask for a vodka and Coke, the vodka is the mixer in Poland. So
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody asked after you on Saturday. They asked if it was a working holiday or if it was just a holiday. Um, Making out like you're like one of the royals when they go on holidays or working or just not one. Anyway, we digress. We have played about a million games since we last did one of these. We tried to record one live before the Shaftesbury game. Unfortunately, we had a few technical issues. Muggins his memory card was full, so we're having to redo this a little bit later. So we apologise. Played a million games. We've got loads of games coming up. We've sat down with Hilly and Dave for one of our mid-season chats. We're doing it slightly earlier this year because Christmas is a bit of a difficult time to kind of get people availability and stuff. There's also a mountain of news. So we play a team called Plymouth Argyle, who I still don't know who that is. And some guy called Wayne Rooney, don't know who that is. Never played for Bolton Wanderers. We play them on Wednesday. That is Wednesday I've forgotten the date.
Uh, 13th.
Wednesday the 13th. This game was moved back. It was supposed to be last week on the 5th. It was moved back because Argyle were struggling for availability to fill a team. Um, we thank everybody involved at Exmouth Town and all our supporters for being understanding. And we apologise for any hassle this may have caused to any of our supporters or anybody involved with Exmouth Town. It is what it is. We're thankful that we can get the game on, and hopefully we can go and win, and get a bumper crowd there. If you are coming down, please leave a little bit of extra time because it may be really busy to get through the turnstiles. Wear blue and white, support the lads, get really loud and noisy. Heard that due to some washing errors, the lads are having to wear away kit. So Argyle will be taking our team in red and white stripes this year in an EX postcode.
There you go. It's
Just
exciting one. You don't know who's going to turn up on Wednesday. You don't know. We sort of have our expectations of who it's going to be and who's not going to arrive, but you never know. You might see certain people, maybe some first team players in there. You don't know what their injury situation's like, so you never know who's going to turn up. I'm looking forward to it on Wednesday, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans who might be their first time coming to Exmouth, and hopefully we can make a really good impression on them and might make it a regular thing.
I have heard rumours that a slightly bold, prolific striker will be in attendance and will be available to sign autographs and take pictures of people. Ace did confirm this to me on Saturday that he would be there. So Argyle's Wednesday. The Willand game that was postponed because of a waterlogged pitch. I think we had like a deluge of rain. That game has been penciled in for the following Wednesday, which is the Nathan, have you got calendar available?
20th.
The 20th. Willand at home is on the 20th now. We'll put that up all on the socials and stuff. But yeah, that should be a really good game. Always entertaining when we face Willand, and it's not too far for those guys to travel. So hopefully they should bring a contingent of supporters. Our home form has been fantastic, as we all know. So that game, next 2 Wednesdays, we've got games. I think that's potentially it for midweek games between now and Christmas. I don't think there's any more.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's all for a while. Actually, I don't know when the next one. When is that? Unless we obviously beat Plymouth, then I don't know when the next one is.
No, I think Devon Bowl takes a break for Christmas and then comes back
Wow.
after Christmas. So at the minute, that's our final midweek game. So it'd just be Saturdays and then obviously Christmas, and no one knows what's going on then for days, weeks, time. Time kind of stands still between then. Speaking of Christmas, there is a Christmas meal on the 6th, December
On the
6th.
stick, yes, six, £15 per person, and it is. Let me just get up what the meal is because I know that's been confirmed now. But yes, £15 per person. If you're a gold member, it's free. You've got comedy from Tank Sherman and Wayne the Weird. You get there for 6:30. It starts as like a cheese board, cheese chutney and pate, and then the main you've got a curry, poppadom, and naan bread. So sounds very good. If you want to go there, watch some comedy, have a good time, have a meal, chat with people. Obviously, probably be a lot of the regulars there, I would assume. Yeah, make sure you get down. Email info at exmouth-townfc.co.uk, and then book your place in because I believe there's still place available, but be quick because they're going quickly. So make sure you get in there first.
And as I said previously, we are home to Bemerton on the Saturday. So go to the Christmas meal, have your liquid meal. As we all know, some of you do like a liquid meal. Um, Go home, have a nice sleep, get up, have breakfast, and then come watch us win and do it all over again.
That's it.
Yeah. I think there's some other events going on, isn't there, as well?
Yeah, we got a couple. I've got the picture here. So again, sorry for looking at my phone too much, but we got Missing Links, live music, like a 90s mix. That's on the 22nd of November. Bar open from 7. The show starts at 9:15. 29th November, Wilcox, live and solo. That's on the 29th, starting from 8. You've got coming up, that's been and gone. The ladies' night out. Hope that went well. And then you've got the Santa Cycling Clues, which isn't exclusively from the club, but it's done like with us and supporting the Forced Cancer Charity. That's on the 24th of November. 6 mile cycle ride with 2 different routes. You can go from Topsham, you can go from Exmouth, and you can also do a boat cruise as well. So that's a really great cause. And yeah, if you're keen for that, sign up and get involved.
If anybody at the club is doing the cycle from Tottenham to Exmouth, please do get in touch because I have got a bike and I can just about cycle 6 miles. So that would be good for me to do. We'll publicize that on the socials as well because it's for a good cause. Um, I think that's all of the news. I don't think there's any other events coming up other than the football, which is always an event in itself. Um, while we're speaking of football, Cal has recently made his 200th appearance for the club. He was presented with a trophy thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was, but yeah.
I don't know what it was, like a silver cup thing. There probably is a name for it. We're just being quite dim. That was before the Shaftesbury game, a game in which he scored in. Prolific this season so far. There is an interview with Cal out at the minute on the well, where you're watching this. Go find it. Cal's always great to interview. Talks about his time at the club. Also, before the Argyle game, the guys will be warming up in MND charity t-shirts to raise awareness and money for that. There'll be a collection as well. Please give some money for that. It's a charity close to Cal's heart. It's a charity close to my heart as well. That Cal also speaks about that in the interview. So please do go check that out. And any and all contributions towards that charity is greatly received. I think that's everything news-wise. I don't think there's anything else, is there?
No, not news. No, just
No.
we've covered a lot. There's some, and also on that interview front, there's a few more coming out. Obviously, we've got the Kev Dave one coming up in a second here. We've got Andy Rawlins. Obviously, we know he's gone from assistant manager to vice chairman. So we did an interview with him, sort of talking about his best memories in the dugout and what his new role pertains to, and everything like that. And obviously, we interviewed Andy so often, so that was good. And we also got one coming out with Frankie Phillips. That one's take a bit longer because I think we're going to show some of his saves and sort of showcase him a bit more in that one. So that one's coming out as well with Frankie, and you can just see how much he loves playing for Exmouth Town. And potentially, hopefully, we can have that for the rest of the season. But you never know. We'll have to find out come January, maybe earlier. Who knows?
Yeah, we got to the club at 11 o'clock. I think we were one of the first people there
It's
before the
early, yeah,
Shaftesbury
it was
game.
early.
It was a long old day, but it was great chatting to people and kind of put on, being able to do all those things for you guys, the supporters. Andy was back on the bench on Saturday because Hilly was suspended. Shout out to Chard, who was babysitting Hilly. that was an interesting spectacle because it was like herding a cat with Hilly. But yeah, Rolo was back on the bench. I did get a video of him carrying the tees across. I'm assuming he probably did more than just carry tees across for the support for the guys on the bench. But yeah, those interviews are all going to drop. We'll put those on socials. So games we have played since the last time we did one of these. Larkcore, Thatcham, Mousel, Didcot, Bashley, Shaftesbury, Malvern.
Yeah.
Some of you guys who
There's-
have been to every game. Have I missed one there?
No, I think so.
No, I don't think so. Some of you guys who have been to every game, I know Nath has been to all the away games. You traveled 1,037 miles in the month of October
Mm.
from the bottom of our heart at the club and all of the lads in the team and everybody. Thank you so much for your support. You have traveled the equivalent distance from our ground to the Bernabeu in Madrid. But no, we thank everybody that has done that, even if you've made one or two of those journeys. It's really appreciated by everybody at the club and all of the lads. So Nath, I know that you went to Thatcham and there was a mechanical issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Larkle, we can just gloss over. That was one of those ones, one of those
That didn't
days.
we,
Um,
that didn't
yeah,
happen. We're going to ignore that.
it's one of those days. Got beat was what it was. But Thatcham was really good. First half was poor, and you were sort of worried that oh no, this might be not a bit more than a blip in terms of that Larkle performance had seeped into the Thatcham game, going 1-0 down so quickly. But turned it around. Ace came on, changed the game completely, and was excellent, and we got a really good win at a team that is despite their league position, a really tough team to go to because it's not close, and obviously we found out that some things can go wrong in that regard, and we had fortunately our coach broke down, and we ended up being stuck at Solstice Services for 3 hours, I think, which wasn't ideal at all, and meant that we got back at about 1, and then or that 12, half 12, and then unfortunately for me, meant I got back about quarter to 2. I'm sure it was similar for Mike, and you had to go to Plymouth, and I don't think he was very happy about that. And then we had, but it was, at the end of the day, you'd rather get stuck after a win than after getting beat like 4-0. So
When
we
you
will
say he
take
wasn't when you say he wasn't very happy to go to Plymouth, do you mean the journey or the fact he had to go to Plymouth?
the journey, of course, especially when Colin, who's on the ETSC Trust board, he got everyone by saying it had been delayed again for another hour, and you could just see the faces of everyone just drop in the moment. So yeah, but at the end of the day, it was still all right. We got through it, and I mean that's the biggest service station I've ever seen. So yeah, there's plenty of options, for everyone. So got it done. It was after a win, and showed a lot of spirit in the game. And then it sort of transferred itself onto Wednesday when we played Mousel. Frankie Phillips probably had the best game of his season so far, where we could have lost that game 7-0, but ended up drawing 1-1. And that last goal for Ethan Slater, I mean, great moment for him. Obviously, we touch on that in the interview, I think, where he's not going to be someone that's available coming up because he's going away. And that was if that is to be a bit of a mini send off, than a perfect send off there with that late goal. And yeah, so maybe some finishing practice needed for Mausel, but also Frankie was unbelievable.
Yeah, I wasn't at Thatcham. Was listening to the radio feed. Tip of the cap to my professional colleague above. Um, yeah, it was a great performance. Watching it back, kind of never felt that we were going to lose that game, even though I knew the result. It was just the performance and just the belief, I think, within the team at the minute. I think we could take on Barcelona and we would probably back ourselves at the minute to kind of go and get something. Mausel, I was walking back round to get to the other side of the where the lads come off. And stopped for a couple of minutes and filmed some content just as the goal went in. And it was a great spectacle seeing just players just run towards the supporters. I've always said that that's a really nice thing to see, and it was great that Ethan managed to put that in. Um, Probably a game where we don't deserve to get anything out of it, but that's the way football works. There's been games where we should have got something out of it and didn't. Um, Frankie was phenomenal, as we've all said that night. But I think that as a team, they never gave up. They could have just, with a couple minutes to go, could have just chucked the towel in, but they didn't. And I think the belief within the team was testament that night. We then went to Didcot, and two very late goals as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty
Nate,
great.
you were at that one, so
Yeah, the Dick one was really good because obviously we had a really depleted squad. It was just Isaac and Dave on the bench. When when you're working with a squad of 13, it's going to be tough, especially when they've got a full bench. So they dug in really well, and we'd have all taken a 0-0. Everyone was saying, we'll take this. But it happened that on his 200th appearance, the ball came through to Cowan, and it looked like a sort of lost cause. He chased it down and ended up getting fouled by the goalkeeper, and we got a penalty for Tom Bath, and then great moment for Isaac as well to get his first Southern League goal. And that was again great seeing that happen in front of the fans who were behind the goal. And yeah, just one of those. Kev had hinted at it early, like after the Mousel game and sort of games before I was here, at least like Keynsham game and get games like that where the odds have been against us and a team that just got, in Didcot's case, a team that just got relegated with a very, with a depleted team and ended up, to be honest, the 90 was not particularly good, but it was good enough in sense of we didn't do, we stopped them from doing anything. We really neutralized them, but we weren't creating a whole lot ourselves. But then to go and get 2 goals and win, and you could tell how much that meant to everyone there, and that was a really good performance, and can be really happy. And then obviously we transfer over to Bashley on the Tuesday after that, and I mean that was the performance I think for so far this season. It was just absolutely excellent. And again, another game where we stopped them doing what they do. You could tell they've got some real quality in that team, but we stopped them doing it. And Tom Bath was super clinical, and we took all the chances we got. And obviously that Frankie penalty save, and that was that I think that generally was a really special moment, special game for that one. And we had a big house on the commentary. So everything that could have gone well went well in that sense. And yeah, and then I got blamed for a decision the ref made. So things all happen here and at Bashley, and they had to hold that one, unfortunately.
yeah, just a shout out to people at Bashley for the natives for their feedback. Very very interesting and robust feedback. Anyway, yeah, no, Bashley, I've said that there's never a dull moment at this club, that's a hill I'm willing to die on. Bashley may potentially be the weirdest game I've ever seen us play. The emotions, the roller coaster, seeing having Rid sent off early on for
Mm.
his argument with the ref, passionate argument of which the ref had no response. Well, he did a response, he sent him off, but that's not the point. To then take the lead from an absolute worldie of a finish from Ollie Knowles, a goal that the footage doesn't do it justice, and not just saying that because we were there. It just come out of nothing, and the relief when the ball at the back of the net for that one was great. Um, to then Frankie saving the pen, to then Bashley going down to 10 men, to then it kind of just being one-way traffic for the last 15, 20 minutes. Um, and typifies everything that this team and club is. Never says die, doesn't give up, rolls its sleeves up. And there was a really big contingent of supporters from Exmouth. That's a long old way to go on a Tuesday night. Um, it was a great advert for what we are as a club. And I'm always proud to be a member of this club and a supporter of it. But yeah, coming home, getting through my front door at 2 a.m. and just being like, wow, that was worth the 2 days off work and everything that the sacrifices that all of us have made to go and do that. And Nathan's commentary was fantastic as well. He did send me away with 5 minutes to go because I was too busy messing around and was putting him off. So I had to go stand behind the goal. Nathan's fully in charge of the media team here. I am the child, as we all know. But no, that was a great evening. It took about 45 minutes for me to get my KFC. That was the only downside. We then played Shaftesbury in I don't even a workman-like performance. I don't
Yeah,
we won ugly, I think is the way Hilly put it as well, which I
tough.
think kind of sums that up.
It was a tough but comfortable game. Again, we didn't they didn't really do a whole lot. Again, more so down to us. I think realistically that those sort of games we all know they're the ones we sort of struggle in. Where you play a team we're on great form and they're perhaps a bit lower down the table, not on such good form themselves. And then that's the sort of Larkle type performance where we might get beat by not turning up and be a bit complacent. But we showed up. We weren't excellent, but we did the job and we got the win. And it was you never thought once it went 1-0, you didn't really feel like it was going to be 1-1. before, and then obviously sealed the deal at the end with a lovely header from Tom Bath. So yeah, good performance. Not really a whole lot you can say on it really because it was just a solid display. And obviously then we had the most recent game against Malvern, a team really banging form. I think one defeat in 8 or 9 now. Obviously it was a 2-2 draw, so no one lost there. But obviously I wasn't there. How was that game? How did that go?
At the Malvern game, sorry, I was just sending a text. I was very unprofessional. It was to do with basketball because I'm a man of many talents. None, that's a lie. Malvern was, how do I put this? I think everybody was happy with a point, maybe. I'm sure happy when we look back, that'll be a point gained, I think. Neither team really did enough to win it. They're a really good team. I think there's a lot of teams in this league who are in false positions. And as we've seen, I think Shaftesbury went and scored four on Saturday. I think they won 4-3. I think that was the last I saw of their game. Um, so Malvern are probably going to fall into that space as well with Shaftesbury and Larkhall, where they're near the mid-table or the foot of the table, but in no way, shape, or form do they deserve to be there? Are they pushovers? So I'm quite happy with the point. I think we played well. I think at times we looked tired and a bit leggy. But yeah, on the whole, I think we a point is kind of deserving. Their keeper was phenomenal. Um, Tom ran his socks off. I thought Nelson was fantastic as well. It was just one of those where come the end of the season, it's not going to be a game we're talking about, but it's also going to be a really important point if we kind of maintain that second spot, which we did. Um, we take the point, we move on, we go again. I think that's kind of the way everyone kind of felt about it. Yeah, it's kind of just one of those. It's one of those you just chalk it down to game done, move on.
Fair enough. And we're second. Like it's
Yeah,
unbelievable,
yeah.
isn't it? It's
Um,
unbelievable. Second. No one expected it, and I know maybe expectations change now, but for me, it's still just incredible that we're here, and we we're not. It's not like we're second by some distance either. We're in we're close to Yate, who are the best team in the league. I know we beat them, but that we remember how we felt after the away game. That they don't lose. They're strong defensively. They keep the ball like it's no one's business. So it the fact that we're not fighting, but we are close to them is unbelievable, and it's just a testament to how good this team has been this year.
I think the fact that I've just said that we've got a point at home against a really good Malvern team, and it's just one of those ones you chalk down and move on, shows how far we've come. The fact that we're going into those games expecting to win, um, and you don't get anything, as we all know, in this league. You don't get anything gifted to you, and you don't get anything gifted to you in football. So I think that probably is testament to how far we've come as well. So, um, yeah,
And
it's
just yeah,
we've got a lot of
just
games. We played a lot of games as well. We've got players coming back from injury, as Dave and Hilly will talk about in a minute. So yeah, I think that actually this was going to be the month where it was make or break. I don't sort of wasn't it was labeled as privately. And we've come out of it with
a lot
phenomenally
of points.
a
Yeah,
silly amount of wins. We've kept
and
the
we've almost got already now we're in November. We've almost got as many points we had last season. I think we might be two off it,
yeah,
two
and
or three off it. It's great. The progress is crazy.
we're
And
still
it's with largely the same team as well. Sorry, it's if you think about like the team that played, it's quite similar to the players with obviously a couple of additions, but it's a lot of the same bodies that we had last year, and just so it shows what confidence can do, doesn't it, for a football team?
and going into the Malvern game, we hadn't conceded in three games, and I think we still haven't conceded. We're still in single digits for goals we've conceded in the league at home. I think we're like 7 or 8, if my maths off the top of my head is correct. So phenomenal effort. We've scored boatload. We've put workmanlike performances when we need to. We're scoring different types of goals. It's players who, no disrespect to Cal, are probably not going to be the ones you look at to score goals, are chipping in with goals. There's guys can kind of put performances and shifts in all over the park. And we've got a great band of supporters that are coming to every game or they're at home games and traveling silly distances for away. So I think that I said last time I'm going to bring up last season. I said last season the brighter days are ahead, and they kind of are here now. So keep plugging away, keep buying those memberships. They're still on sale. Christmas is coming up. Nate, if you would buy me a Christmas present, what would you buy me?
A membership, of course.
Yeah, we didn't practice that at all. Not asked him that 3 or 4 times already. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to Dave and Hilly's interview because they're the two men at the club who are best placed to talk about the team. And as we all know with Hilly's interview, anything else that comes to his mind could be anything. Anything could literally happen in this interview. I don't think he went off too many tangents, did he? No, I don't. I don't think he did. I think he was relatively sensible in this one. So yeah, we'll hand over to Dave and Hilly. Obviously, Nate's asking the questions. Yeah, enjoy.
A wonderful start to the season, Kev. What have you made of it so far?
Oh, fantastic! If you look at last year, you know what I mean, to where we've come now, and don't get, it's only a few extra players we've got in, isn't it? Obviously, start with everyone had a big group, but you want people competition. And everyone seems to be buying in, and don't forget, the season's not won now in November, October, but if you look at terms of where we were last year, first and foremost, start the season, play safe for 4 teams to go down, you want to be above it. Main aim for me and him was top half of the table, looking for playoffs if we could be there, brilliant. You know what I mean? So, but no, it's delightful for the fans, yes. Some games will be brilliant, some games you've got to do enough to win. That's all part of football, but it's our eyes. I get the enjoyment, it depends on Dave. I'll get the enjoyment seeing other people like you guys happy when the win's going like that. Do you know what I mean? And suddenly you can win ugly, you can win like we did Tuesday night Bashley, but it's brilliant performance for the lads, shape and everything. And then today, grind out result. Yes, we'll obviously analyse performance, but to Shaftesbury really looks good, isn't it?
And Dave, you know, we mentioned off camera, we've almost levelled the points total from the whole of last season, and we're only at the start of November now. I mean, that must, and as you say, with minimal, well, some signings, but a pretty similar side, so you must be delighted with how that's gone.
Can I just say one thing? Sorry, and I'll take the credit for that, because the best signing I've done was I brought him in last year. All right, so it helps get in. So as me and Andy never needed the help, and I'll be honest, come in to start the season, all the pre-season. Having somebody with us, Andy as well, so, but it's helped massively and it goes on the show. He's brought players in, and where we are now is, but then saying that was a great signing for me when he can really carry on.
Yeah, I think that goes right. I think pre-season was a big thing. I think we had a hard pre-season and then we sort of set out how we wanted to play, how things are going to be different from last year, and to be fair, all the players, you know, there was no one leaving, you know, they wanted to stay, they wanted to fight for their place. So that levels everyone's performance during pre-season, and you know, to be 7 points now off last year's total is unbelievable, really. So you can only give the players credit for that, but you know, it's been a team effort from everybody. So yeah, we're delighted for the start we've had.
And do you feel that is the big difference going into this season from last season, was sort of the preparation and that pre-season? Because I remember speaking after the game this season against Bolton, it was all about having a more professional sort of mindset to the
Yeah, I think the bigger thing was we felt the team had to be fitter. We had to be a bit more professional, maybe the word, a bit more disciplined in what we were doing. So the friendlies were all near enough against step 3 sides. So we wanted to have good tests. I think that set us at a good, and it gave us a good start, a good base to see what we need or what we're about. But you know, the players raised their levels, and they were always good enough to, you know, look at the last 10 games of the season last year. They won 6, drew 2, drew 3, lost 2 or something. You know, so the ability's there, but I think it was all about mindset. I think we with the hard pre-season, I think we've got that in their head, and it's just followed all the way through.
No, I mean, there were certain games this season, if you look at like the Liverpool game where we lost 3-1, and you could worry that could creep in, and as it has in previous years. But this year, the spirit from the players to pick themselves up from moments like that, and even in games, has been magnificent.
To be fair, yeah, obviously credit the players who do that, but you will see average football. That will happen again. That's me and him to nullify it and try and work out. You can't play well every week. As much as me and him and shout or whatever it is, I'll shout or don't shout, we're not happy with things. It's to keep that concentration there. That will happen. Team will come up. If you're up there where we are at the moment, we're a sculpt to people. So everything, they raise a game. If you look at us, we play we're at it, ratting it, because we want to beat them. Then we go down to somebody else, and we never, you always say, why is the tempo not quite the same? it's amateur football. It happens. And it happens for a reason. And then, because people do switch on, alright? But if you look like you go back to saying like last year, if you look at the back four for the last 3-4 games, 3 clean sheets, it's last year's team. Josh Down, Corey Down, Mike Langton, Joe Bells, isn't it? Right? But it's the same back four, but it's just different. We're organised, and when you win in and get the confidence and players in front, players missing, Aaron, Morgs, you know what I mean, Jack Thorne, Ollie, you know what I mean, obviously Jake's gone, and big players, that have been good players, if you know what I mean, that suddenly just gradually disappearing and leaving for us, disappearing and leaving for us, get on, right, disappearing and leaving for us, yeah, it's still massive to keep them results. So we've got 10, or no, 13 points now out of 15. Obviously we ain't going to get carried away because we were worried about today. So, but it's been a massive turnaround. But again, I'll go to say, it's a different voice in the dressing room. It's the same thing as if you were hearing me shout at you for the last 5 years, the same thing, same instructions. I've had virtually the same players. It's just have to nice. If somebody else comes in, it's different, it's a vocal, you treat it different. You know what I mean? Because instead of it going in and one out the other with me and Andy, which was on this line, sometimes a different focus, he sees things different, and it's taken a lot of pressure off me, which has made it more enjoyable.
No, I would have saved it for later, but as he just walked in the room, Mike Landricum has really stepped up the season, wearing the captain's armband now, in the absence of Dave Rowe, and you know how great has he been this year?
You know, we said pre-season he was going to be, you know, probably he looked like he still had that hunger. You know, he's getting on 36, but he's still, you know, he's playing like he's 25 at the moment. He's been an absolute rock for us. So, and hopefully that'll continue. You know, but he's a massive part of what our defensive structure and part of our team. He's a great leader, and I think he's bought into everything we've done this season, and he's getting stuck into other players to if they do fall off that way, he's getting them back online. So it's been fantastic.
And of course, Kevin, some of the players that you'd have been with right from the start of the time that have hit some really big milestones. Ace High with 140 goals, or Callum Shipton today presented with his reward for 200 appearances. That must be really a proud moment for you, seeing these players that have been there all the way.
Well, definitely. Don't get me wrong, Ace, who's obviously played with players here and played with me actually, Ace. And I actually thought he was older than he actually is. But Callum, yeah, I put Callum across the buddy with Sparky and a couple of others. And back in the day, people used to say, oh, he ain't going to do it. 200 appearances later, he's been a regular now for the last 4 or 5 years, got himself in the team, be patient, wanted to step up, and now he's one of the first names on the team, isn't he?
He's been brilliant.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. You ask him what he does, give him a different task this year. He always rattle, you know what you get from him, but can he add goals? Last year there was no goals to his game or assists. Every year he was trying to bring something different to your game. Can you add something different instead of being the same? But every year he said, you know what, I'm having a conversation, can you bring some goals? And now what, he's got 3-4 goals, 2 threes, you know what I mean? A couple of assists, getting in the box, breaking the lines. Yeah, did today he gambled off Barfi's flick, Isaac flick, but Cal kept going, I was on the end of it. Back in the day he would have made that run, and that would have rolled through the keeper, yet he was there, great finish, just one up.
There's been a lot of good signings this summer, but probably can't look past Frankie Phillips, who's just been an amazing goal for such a young man.
Yeah, Frankie first played for me at Bridgewater when he was 17, and he wasn't the same keeper he is now. But you know, you can only give the lad a lot of praise. You know, he's come in, he was brilliant for Polder last year. And you know, he got his pro move to Exeter, and he's been. I've gone into my clean sheets, he's come out in the league, probably 8, 7 or 8, you know, he's been fantastic. So, and his mentality is brilliant, and he's been a really big part of the dressing room. So, you know, hopefully we've got him for the rest of the season. So.
And unfortunately, some players have departed. Obviously, Levi Landricum has been a big part for you at Exmouth over the years. Was sad to see him go, but good to see him go and get minutes elsewhere.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Levi helped us get promotion, and for that, but effectively he's still an excellent player. So if it's a midweek and he was short and he's keeping himself there, he can come away. But Levi wanted to go get minutes and play for somebody to get minutes because we can guarantee him game time. It's a bit like even with Rowie going to get minutes at Bridgewater. They can sit on the bench for so long, but they will be called upon. It's like having a big squad when people turn around and say, well, you had 20, you had 16, you only can, or 26 or whatever it is. You can't keep 4 or 5 not playing every week. Eventually they're going to go. Yes, I was 16, maybe 17 or 18 or whatever, 1 or 2 playing elsewhere, And so basically Levi, if Levi would have come on, just say he would have been on the bench today, just say he'd come on the last 10, sooner or later, he's going to want to play regularly, unless he breaks into that line. So Levi just answered it and go get minutes, but I know for enough, if I pick the phone up to him, we pick the phone up, open Sunday week and stuff like that, he'd be there.
And then Jake doing a short and sweet spell for him here, but great work in his time here, and unfortunately you come back to Bridgewater. What do you make of his short time?
Jake, I know Jake's played for me for 6-7 years. He's a fantastic footballer. Personal circumstances, we're not full time. Personal circumstances come into your life, and the travel. He's moving house. He's his work getting in the way. So in the end of the day, Bridgewater's on his doorstep, and I know it'll help us out if we have a short. But Jake's a top player, and he's a great lad, and we wish him all the best. But he's said life gets in the way sometimes.
Has that been an important thing this season with those players dual reg? We obviously saw Dean Billingsley come back recently and put in a good shift against Malswood. So is it really important to keep those relationships good with players?
Of course it is. Don't want to burn bridges. Yes, people want to play regularly, but some people just want to play. They might go to the mates, like Dean's been scoring goals again, hasn't he? Come in, and when he come on at Malswood, they've done okay, getting a shift in, look busy. And it's nice to have them players to call upon, you know what I mean? So, yes, everyone likes to have a little run around or whatever, play at a high level. And it is, and because we're competing at this level, yes, we were still competing last year, it's harder, but this year it just feels like when you're doing well, everybody goes for you, everybody turns and is happy for you, you know what I mean? So we enjoy it like that.
And obviously, speaking of new players, these players aren't officially new signings, but they will feel like it. Jack Thorne coming back from that horrible injury, what are we looking at in the timeline for him?
Well, I think he's starting to jump next week. So, I think it'll be by Christmas, I think, and then whenever he's confident to come back and play. But we're not going to rush him. We're going to, whenever he's ready, I speak to him regularly, so he's hungry to get back, but he knows he's got to be sensible.
And Brad Cox as well, I think obviously brought in last season and suffered a really horrible injury, but set to return to action.
Yeah, no, speaking of Brad, he come and watched a couple of games and there, so I think if you'd have seen him last year, what he's like is just one a little rank player, that massive long throw, you know what I mean, physique's good, yeah, he's a strong but to lovely lad, but just that's mentality, especially with the likes of Ethan going away to Australia to live or try doing work over there, and what it is in the next couple of weeks. Sam Haynes has now moved to London for his work, so there's a couple going, and Ethan Morgan there for work issues and stuff like that. So Brad's just that similar player. Yes, get him up and running. He's back running now. He's back doing the thing. He's just asking when training's next, and he wants to start joining training. So it wouldn't surprise me. You start seeing him around end of November, December.
And is there any potential new players being looked at? Obviously, you don't have to go into specifics, but is that an area you're looking to strengthen?
Yeah,
I think we're looking at it. At the end of the day, we've got. Today you can have Knowlesy, Denny's coming back hopefully within a week, maybe 2. But we probably do have to maybe bring in a couple to, especially midfield area. I think we look quite like them in the middle, maybe a forward. So yeah, we're on the lookout. But at the end of the day, we're in no rush. We're in a good position. So.
And Kev, obviously we've seen Andy roll into the part as assistant manager to become vice chairman. Firstly, how big of a help has he been during your time at the club?
One job's been superb. That's what you nickname him. Charlie laughing now, and it's been superb to be fair. It's the same with Bob Evans who helped behind the scenes to get us where we are now, you know what I mean? Yes, it comes at times. Andy's gone in to help the chairman and the board and that, which on match days. Me and Dave, like I say, we're doing it together, but we're still on looking for somebody to come with us, isn't it? We're happy, but it's got to be right to come in somebody to be helping us on the dugout, but if it's right, if it's the right fit for us, and when someone comes available, we're trying to get somebody, keep saying no at the moment, don't he, but trying to get back in.
Give him a ring there.
Yeah, give him a ring there. So if he's listening, we'll try and get Shanks in the dugout with us. But no, he's not having none of it at the moment, but we'll keep working on that one. But no, all been good.
So you are looking to add another coach into that just to replace him?
Yeah, we'd like to. You can see them warming Frankie up, you know what I mean? We do the run around, I'll do the run around, David come in and do the warm up, and it's just nice to have it. And if it's training, Dave watching some at Bridgewater, I've got help on the training, you know what I mean? And it's just another voice, and if it is something like that, It's just you've got another voice experience playing, and it just helps. And sometimes, like next week, I'm suspended, so he's in the dugout on his own. But he's got experience left boat with him. So, and trust me, I've been there on my own. He's been there on his own. You look at it, you see it. Sometimes you don't see the obvious, and somebody just turn around and say something. You go, oh, and you do need that out there. You do need that other vision of eyes and someone you trust. So, no, good.
And I mean, we spoke about it on Tuesday at Bashley. The fans have covered an awful lot of distance this month, and they've just been amazing this season. And especially in that away support, has been incredible. Also, the people that turn up and help out home and away.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, I like to get a bit of noise here though.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I think the last couple was maybe because we haven't played well. I think the crowd sort of dies where I think a bit more noise might just get us that lift sometimes. But listen, the fans have been
get the atmosphere.
Fans have been good. Yeah, maybe we need a bit more of an atmosphere somehow. But maybe that comes from us as a club to give it that lift. But you know, the fans have been amazing home and away.
And for both of you, what has been your standout game so far this season?
I'm going to go Yate at home still. Bashley away is close, but I think Yate at home was probably in a way the perfect performance against a team who are, you know, as high as they are. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Kevin?
Obviously, the 8 game definitely for the way we play, but if I go and coincide with that something different, not looking at the performance, but I looked at the ugly side of. We just lost 2 Falmouth away, I can't remember the other game, Larko, and then we go to Thatcham that have beat Willen, beat Bay, and as much as the performance was there to go 1 down, 1-0, 2-1 down, 2 and win it 3-2 towards the end, it set us on this run. But like I said at the time, they're the games nobody sees, where we're resilient, wasn't it? Coming back, and I saw like that, knew it was maybe a turning point, and since then we've gone again to Mounsell, drew 1-1 at home here, beat Didcot, beat Bashley, and we beat Shaftesbury today. But it sets you on runs, and I always remember telling players, to me, I like them sort of wins. Because the team suddenly dug in, they fought, and you felt like you had the old Exmouth back. You know what I mean? The energy was there, and because it spurred us on to think. But yeah, like we said, we always tell it, if we play a big team together, I said to you on time, if we're playing a team that's top, second, third, whatever it was, we're at it all the time. And if it's sort of mediocre down, and you'll suddenly get crying out, but that's what we.
And just finally, again for both of you, what are your goals for this season, first of the season? Because I don't know if we expected to start this good, so what are your goals?
I still think I just finish as close to the playoffs you can. After the year we had last year, you're starting again technically with a lot of, you know, influx of new players. Not a new player, a new team. You know, we are a new team as a whole. So I think if we can finish as close to the playoffs, regardless of the start we've had, I think that'll be an amazing turnaround from what we had last year.
Okay, Nate, so that was Dave and Hilly, the most unlikely double act in football. Yin and yang, isn't it, really, on the scale of how they approach the game. Although Dave did have some choice words for some of the things that have happened on Saturday with people on the pitch, but we won't go into that. Nothing to do with either of the players. So anyway, what have you taken from that other than the fact that they're trying to get Shanks back?
I mean, yeah, I mean, that would be interesting if he was to come back. I know he was sort of doing that last season, you know, when he was on the bench sort of coaching in sort of tow as well. But yeah, no, it's always good to speak to them. I mean, I think they're feeling the same way in terms of, you know, that it's probably gone a bit better than they thought it would, but they have that belief that the players are good enough to mount a charge in this for promotion in this league. And I think, yeah, they're just, and you can see how happy they are at the moment with how everything's going. And obviously that's considering the absences that we have and players leaving and things like that. So, you know, it was great. Yeah. Another great, you know, it's been just great, really, hasn't it? So it's, you know, the boys are doing really well, and I'm definitely not struggling to remember what they said.
I've taken a couple of things from that. One, if Shanks does come back, and Shanks, we would love you to come back. That does mean you have to do media duties, by the way. You would obviously be one of the youngest members on the bench. I remember apparently last year I did refer to you as being old, so therefore come back. You know, you could probably still play as well. Like, you're still a whippersnapper. The other thing that I took from that was that they referred to Mike as one of the elder statesmen in the squad. And then I've discovered that me and Mike are actually basically the same age. So thanks for that.
There
That's
you go.
karma
And
there,
that,
isn't it, really? That's karma, that,
yeah.
isn't it?
And
Although
again, they
although
pointed
Mike
out how, sorry, you go.
Mike is obviously a lot better at football than me.
Yeah, they pointed out how good he's been. I mean, it was inspired by him walking in while he was doing it. But yeah, he's been excellent this season, and just those sort of individuals that have really stepped up this year, and they highlighted them. I know that, and then they were speaking about just and generally just how good the team has been, and the spirit I think was the key thing,
Yeah.
that the spirit. This team doesn't know when it's beaten, and they can grind out games now. And again, last season that wasn't a thing that was possible. And this year they've really shown with the belief now that they can win ugly, and it's not one of the and often because there's a difference. I think you can win a game and be like, oh, that was a bit rubbish, and that wasn't great. But these wins this season, and I'm not just saying it because it's all going well, but these feel a bit different. They feel like they don't feel like we've got lucky, which some of the wins I say in the first Southern League season did feel that way, or we got away with one there, weren't very good. These ones feel like, because we're not conceding a whole load of chances, it feels like, oh no, we deserve something. I'm just glad that we were able to get something extra than probably what might have been the deserved result. So I think that goes to show that defensively, especially, like I know Malvern was a bit more open than probably wanted, but in terms of the games before that, has been really good. Bar the Malvern one as well, but Bashley did cut Shaftesbury. They didn't really have any great chances bar a penalty, and maybe one or two like half chances that you could have been more than what they were, but no clear ones where you thought, wow, we got away with one there. So just been the spirit's been excellent.
Another thing I hadn't thought about until someone pointed out on Saturday, we've done all of this, and Dave and Hilly have done all of this, and the lads have done all this, and we haven't really had a fully fit squad. So you think Jack,
Mm.
who is was said in the interview, is back. I think they said he was jogging or jumping or something. He was
Christmas time, yeah.
his rehab is going well. There's no pressure on him to come back and obviously come back and play full 90. He'll be back when he's back. It was great to hear that he's doing well from a health point of view as well. He's still obviously a young man. We hope he's back in a blue shirt soon. Jack, if you're about any away games, come say hi, mate. Don't be a stranger. Ethan has obviously been out in and out of the squad. Ace has been in and out of the squad with an injury. Obviously, he's picked up that injury at Bashley. He did come on for Malvern. Did speak to him at the end, and he said that he's still it's still a bit sore and doesn't feel right. So I don't think he's back to full fitness. We've had times where Louis, I think, has been out. Obviously, we had to wait for him to get international clearance from his time chasing kangaroos. Um, I think that's we've done all of this and we've not really had that fully fit starting 11. There's been other
Yeah.
guys who have come in and have been out. Dave Thorne has come into the team and has been in and out with injury.
Aaron's Aaron's been injured. You
Pardon?
know, Aaron's been injured.
Yeah,
You've got
sorry, yeah, Aaron. Yeah,
there's
Aaron is
someone
a
that's
great
been
case as
sort of a
well.
key player there, and
Yeah,
he's been out the last few games, probably the longest he's been out for a while.
yeah, Nelson as well as also. So
Mm.
it's testament to the fact that we've managed to stay second and pick up all these wins and keep clean sheets without a really settled squad. And that I think the fact we had such a big squad has kind of helped.
Mm.
Um, so I think that makes it even more remarkable what the guys have achieved. So fair play, as we keep saying, long it may continue. Looking ahead, we have many games coming up. We've obviously touched upon the Argyle and Willand game. We have Westbury away, I believe.
Yes, Westbury on the 16th, Manor Farm on the 30th. Both games will be broadcast, hopefully at least broadcast live on ETFC Live, which is the X account or the Twitter account that we broadcast those games from. Again, just to touch on that quickly, thank you all again for anyone who's tuned in so far. Bashley was the best one yet. I thought it was the smoothest one. I was unhappy with the Thatcher one, for example. So really happy that the Bashley one went as well as it did. Obviously, it does rely on signal and service at these grounds, so there's always a slight risk that it might not go ahead. But I'm pretty confident Westbury and Manor Farm it should go ahead, and I'm looking forward already. Hopefully, my voice sounds a bit better than this,
And
and
you're
we'll
so far.
be ready. I'm very sorry, just ill. The but the yeah, so I hope that we can. I know Westbury is going to be a well supported game, but if you can't make it, tune in to that, and then Manor Farm as well. I think again both games were always well supported, but those ones are favourites with the fan. with the fan base. So if you're not making it, join us through there instead, and have a great time in it. Hopefully we can enjoy another great couple of away performances, and who we've got on the 23rd at home.
23rd, we're home to Cinderford. So our fixtures
Mhm.
coming up before we do another one of these. We have um on this it's listed as Plymouth Argyle FC reserves.
No, it's
Don't know
Plymouth
what
Argyle
any of those
FC.
words mean. I don't know what a Plymouth Argyle is. It's like asking me what a Wigan Athletic is. I don't know what that is either. We have them, this team apparently, I think they're in the Azerbaijani Premier League or something, on Wednesday. Saturday the 16th, we travel to Westbury. Um, that is the unofficial, was it the train derby or something like that? I don't
Yeah,
know.
Great Western.
Great Western Derby. We apologise to the Greater Westbury area for any and all behaviour from our supporters. They are lovable. They just get a bit excited sometimes. Wednesday the 20th, we face Willand Rovers at home. 23rd, we have Cinderford at home. Saturday the 30th, we travel to Bristol Manor Farm, looking to avenge last season's appalling referee decision that sparked our survival. So, yin and yang. Saturday the 7th, we play Bermerton Heath Harlequins at home. That's the death of the Christmas party. I will be on hand with Barocca and bottles of water to revitalize anybody that needs it. Saturday, December the 14th, we are away to Bishop's Cleeve.
Yeah.
There won't be any radio that day because
No.
Nathan is off gallivanting again.
Yeah, sorry.
He's going to Barbados to,
No.
I don't know what he's doing. He's doing something. Saturday the 21st, we then have Evesham at home. And then we're well into the Christmas period after that.
Yeah,
podcast.
Boxing Day.
So
is
we'll have a podcast before then, I
Yeah,
think.
it'll be some before that.
I'm assuming buses are running for those away games.
I'm not sure. I think it's going to be mini buses most likely.
Yeah.
I don't think there's coaches running. Obviously, Westbury is heavily a train affair for a lot of fans. There is a minibus running though if people do want to get on a contact Sam or Martin if you're interested in going on there. And I'm sure it'll be the same for Manor Farm. But yeah, so I'm sure Westbury's going to be a fun one. It's my first time going, so I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I can't wait. And obviously, I know they've got the new tops as well with the railway logo on. So look forward to seeing them in action. And yeah, looking forward to a lot more.
The lads were warming up in a new white and lilac. I'm assuming it must be a new train top, but they look really nice as well. So if they are available to buy, can someone tell me? Because I really want one of those for when I think about doing exercise for the 2 or 3 weeks when we go into the new year. I think that's all of the news. Nath, I've just got a question to ask you because you obviously have touched upon the fact that you are nursing an illness. In the last 6 to 10 hours, have you had a loss of appetite, feeling tired, exhausted, dizziness, or difficult sleeping?
No,
You haven't got any of those?
no, just coughing and sniffing.
Okay, because that's all the symptoms of altitude sickness, and that potentially could be what we're all suffering with from our lofty league position at the minute.
There you go. They maybe.
If you are suffering with altitude sickness, please do consult a medical official, not us. That's everything. As always, up the town. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Keep an eye on all of the socials as well because we've got loads of stuff coming up. Gonna hopefully have a few more chats with players before Christmas. Not all of them will be serious. Got a few fun and games planned with some of the players for Christmas. Advent calendar is currently in production as well. The year where we get to have a bit of fun with some of the mistakes and funny things that have happened. Go and attend all the events, support the club, buy a membership, join the MTC, come say hello to me or Nathan, and tune into the radio. Everything.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm at every game between now and then. Nathan will just drop in when he's not on holiday. Up the town, and we'll see you again soon.